So this deal values TOPPS at 1.3 billion, and the deal is expected to go through in around June or July of 2021. And this is actually the third time that in this company's history that it's gone public. It was public in the 1970s, and then it was taken private. It went public again in the 1980s, then again was taken private, and now once again it's going public. So, quick information on this company for those who don't know. TOPPS currently owns the exclusive rights to manufacture and sell MLB cards. They also have several candy companies, namely Ring Pop, if you remember those, and Bazooka is another candy brand they own. But the big news here really is their plans to jump in the whole NFT sphere. So basically make digital collectibles, and this will surely cause a lot of speculation when the company begins trading. Basically, any company that's mentioned the words NFT recently has seen their shares jump a bit. For example, Funko saw a run up recently. And to be honest, I'm a little torn on this one. You can look at this company from the lens of them having kind of this impenetrable economic moat. They're truly an iconic company and an iconic brand in the world of collectibles. They also have these exclusive licensing rights with the MLB. And it seems like the MLB is happy with TOPPS as they've been making MLB products for literally decades now, so I wouldn't expect this to change anytime soon. And this past year, they came up with a product called TOPPS Project 2020, which they made an absolute boatload of money on, in terms of revenue at least. But on the other hand, I get the sense that this company will very quickly become not necessarily a meme stock, but definitely a stock that a lot of younger beginner retail investors will pay attention to. So I'm a little worried that they're going to get expensive very quickly. And one thing people have to understand about this company is that the amount of money that they can make is inherently capped. Because they make collectibles, the only way you're going to keep having lots of customers purchase your collectibles and have your collectibles sell out is if they know or at least think that those collectibles will be valuable in the future. So if TOPPS suddenly increases their manufacturing capacity and they double production of their trading card products, which at present time they probably still could do, and they'd probably still be able to sell out because at present time demand greatly exceeds supply. But in the long term, that could drive people out of the market because their cards aren't going to be worth as much because there's so much supply out there. This is exactly what happened in the 1990s when trading cards really came onto the scene and demand was super high. And now cards from the 1990s, the early 1990s, are essentially worthless, with a very few exceptions. So keep in mind, the existence of a secondary market for these products is key because it generates interest in the items being sold initially and bringing in new collectors. So if people start buying top stock thinking they're going to go up 300, 400, 500%, then they really don't understand the reality of this company. Last year in 2020, the sports card hobby absolutely blew up in ways in which no one saw coming. And with all that, their overall revenue growth was up 23%, which, yes, that's very good. But the card collecting hobby is never going to grow like it did last year ever again, in my opinion. So don't be expecting revenue to skyrocket 100% year over year, because it's probably not going to happen. And specifically, the growth in their sports segment was 50%, and I think a lot of this had to have been driven by the success of TOPPS Project 2020, among other things, which is not necessarily something that they can continue to do year over year. They can do some things that are similar to it, but it's going to be hard to replicate that success. And yes, you can argue that with NFTs, they won't have any manufacturing costs when they're selling their digital collectibles, so their margins will be higher, but NFTs are still an unproven market. And they've been getting boosted a lot lately by social media influencers. And what do we really know about them other than their self proclaimed status of being the next big thing? Really, not a whole lot. And if companies are making money left, right, and center with NFTs, then you can expect a lot of competition in the industry going forward. And something else to note is that 35% of the sales that TOPPS did in 2020 were actually in candy products. And I wouldn't exactly categorize candy as an explosive growth category. So, yes, they are an iconic company and they have somewhat of an economic moat. But if this company races out to trading at 40, 45 price to earnings multiple, I'd be very cautious because I just don't think that they can grow as fast as a PE multiple that high would indicate. And people need to understand that. And maybe I'm wrong about that, but I wouldn't be willing to bet on it. If they have a PE multiple in the 20 to 25 range, then maybe I'm interested. Even 25 to 30, I'd still be slightly interested, but anything higher than that, and then I'm unsure. And it worries me because this is a company with a ton of brand value, and some people just may want a piece of it regardless of how their fundamentals look, just because of their emotional attachment to the company. And overall, I do think this is a smart move by the people at Tops, because if the company's shares do rise a lot once they start trading for a while, then they'll be able to raise additional capital at much higher prices, prices that are higher than their inherent worth. And they could use that money to fund future projects, future expansion, and just therefore grow their business, whatever they need to do with it. Anyways, guys, that's my opinion. The main point here is not to think of this as an explosive 5 times your investment in 1 year type of company, because it's fundamentally not that. They sell candy and cards, guys. Okay, they're not a tech company. We'll see what they do with NFTs. But yeah, that's how it is. That's my opinion. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you're new. Until next time.